Hello, good day. I have received complaint already. I've received some of my friends that say that the first one was too long, 12 minutes, and the second one was too short, 4 minutes. So I don't know. I have to go between them, maybe a little bit. I also have a question. I received a question about someone saying he didn't understand what did I mean when I said that I threw the book that didn't tell me the truth. Okay, let me say, I'll bring it more closer. Maybe it will be more understanding more. Okay. Let's suppose someone says that he is an expert in America, United States, the United States. And in his book, you find out that he said that he was in Pennsylvania and he was in the capital of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, and he met the governor and so on. This guy is not an expert. He is lying because the capital of Pennsylvania is not Philadelphia, and what about the other things that you don't know whether true or not? So this is the kind of book that you should throw away. Actually, a lot of Americans don't know the capital of the states. I was in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and there was a guy, an American, who didn't know what's the capital of Missouri. Heck, his last name was Jefferson. So you know that. Okay, now. So we go back to our material. This is the third video. And what I wanted to say is that a lot of people have an agenda, as I said, with their thing. They might not believe what they are preaching. They might be paid to do it. They might just hate someone who promotes it or who with it or other things. So you have to be careful, and you have to really, really you have to be a researcher in order, if you want to make an opinion, if you want to dig deep into something, you have to do your research. This is very, very important, because that way you can be fair to whoever they talk about. You don't have to like it. When I said about Buddhism, you have to be fair to Buddhism. If you want to make an opinion about Buddhism, if you want to make an opinion about whatever religion, Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, you have to be, if you want to make an opinion, you have to be fair. You have to do your research. Not say they are allowed to do this, we are not allowed to do this. And you have to be sure that this is in their religion. So, one of the things that they all have against, a lot of people are against him, is his first book that he wrote, which is Tawheed, or the oneness of God, or monotheism, or polytheism. It has so many names. Okay, and we talked about that. A friend of mine who was once, he said that he was in Al-Azhar in Egypt, and he was sitting there, and the teacher was talking against Muhammad Abdulwahhab, and he said this, that, about Muhammad Abdulwahhab, and he preached takfir. Takfir means that it denotes excommunication, which means a Muslim tells another Muslim or another person that he is not a believer, and that's what it's called, takfir. And he had been, this is what has been told about him, that he is always doing takfir. And to be fair, I don't think I read all his books, and I've seen there isn't anything in it like that way. So what did that friend of mine did is that he took the first book of Muhammad Abdul Wahhab, and he took off the cover, which says the title of the author, and he gave it to his professor. He said, I read this book I found about the religion. Please tell me your opinion. And the teacher took it home. He was a teacher, unbelievable. And he took it home and read it, and then he came back the next day. He said, I have not read any book as good as this about the oneness of God and how to believe in God. And he said, I wonder who is the author. He said, Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. And that guy knew right away that he was wrong. He was taking his informations from books that were against him and all these things. So the main thing is for a person to be judged. I'm not asking anybody to follow Muhammad Abdul Wahhab or to see what. he had a simple message. He said that the people at that time did not follow what the Prophet Muhammad and his followers did at that time. And he said this is the basic of his, he wants people to be the same way the Prophet did, with the compassionate, with all these things, and not the hypocrisy, the sins, all these things. So that's why he said, that in his conclusion, that nothing is forbidden, because it's not, if it's not there, if it's not in the Quran, if it's not in the Hadith, it's not forbidden. But all worshipping, anything that you worship, anything, any new worshipping, anything that you say you claim that will get you closer to God, that you do physically, whether you're worshipping, you're standing in front of a grave and standing asking someone, a saint that died, a follower of Muhammad that died. I remember in our village that there was a follower of Muhammad that died, and the grave there, people used to go there and ask him for things, favors and other things. Its message is simple. You don't need anybody to get to God. Just go with him directly. It's that simple. I hope this is not long enough. Let me see. That's about 6 minutes. I say it's good. Peace.